In your health headlines, the temperatures may be soaring outside, but that doesn't mean flu season is not upon us. And that means flu shots, too. And it's time to get vaccinated. Dr. Mitchell Goldman from UCSD is here once again with this year's guidelines. Nice to see you, Dr. G.
Good to see you, Kathleen.
Well, flu cases are already ahead of last year's pace in San Diego County with 150 more cases. So are we already behind the 8 ball in getting vaccinated?
Well, yes or no. It's never too late to get vaccinated, but the Centers for Disease Control recommends that everyone get vaccinated before the end of October, so that's the next 2 weeks. You know, in San Diego alone, we had 87 deaths from the flu last year and almost 7,000 hospitalizations. So the flu is actually very dangerous, and the vaccine is very, very effective.
And peak season for the flu isn't really until December through February, and we beat this drum every year. And explain to people why everyone should get the flu shot.
You know, first of all, pregnant women are the most important people to get the flu, because if a woman is pregnant and gets the flu, they actually can be very seriously hurt, as well as their baby. And then their baby, when it's born, is going to have the same vaccination status for the next 6 months. But it's not just to prevent us from getting sick and achy with the flu virus. It's also to prevent harm to other people. You know, there are many people that can't get the flu vaccine. And so for those that can't get it, if we get the flu, we're going to spread it to them as well. And there's a lot of people at risk, especially pregnant women, the elderly, people with heart disease and diabetes. But as we see here, even if it doesn't make you totally not get the flu, your symptoms are going to be so much more milder. And again, with hospitalization, 95% of all pregnant women that get the flu vaccine are not hospitalized. So it really is effective.
And once again, refresh our memory, flu symptoms versus a cold.
You know, they're actually pretty similar, but with the flu, there's a higher risk of fever and then that generalized achiness. Of course, we always have cough and sneezing, but when you have the flu, you know you have the flu. It's just different than a cough or a cold. Kids will probably get a little bit more nausea and vomiting and diarrhea from it. Adults, not so much. It's mostly that real bad achiness, that incredible tiredness, and then the fever.
And you mentioned that this year's vaccine, the version this year, is affected. How do you know that? Because there were some questions in the past whether they were.
Well, the flu actually is a worldwide phenomenon, and it started already in Australia. And so the Australians already have gone through their flu season, and this year's flu vaccine actually protects from the flu virus that was found in Australia. So we know that it's going to be fairly effective this year. But again, even if it doesn't totally prevent you from getting the flu, it's going to cut down on the symptoms, and so you're not going to be bedridden and achy and feverish. And so it's just a good thing to do. There's literally no reason why you should not get the flu vaccine. And it's so important to get it soon, because it takes a few weeks for the vaccine to really kick in. And as you just said, Kathleen, we're starting to see flu symptoms right now here in San Diego.
It's already hit Fox 5 and even my house in some respects. Well, Dr. G, thank you so much once again for keeping us up to speed.
Good to be here, Kathleen.